Hello there, this is Jackie Wildstar, and I am about to give a little bit of a unboxing review of 2 tarot decks that I just got in the mail today by the same artist. They're done by James R. Eads. Beautiful artwork, absolutely beautiful, and they have the unique aspect of being able to lay the cards out and they all kind of piece together like a puzzle and they make a picture together. I'm sorry I don't have a proper setup with the camera facing down so you can see the cards that way, but I will show some of what I'm probably going to mostly talk about some of my critical initial responses to the deck because I was very excited about these decks. And you know, they're independent release, so that means they're a little more expensive than something you would just get off of Amazon. So I got Cosma Visions and Prisma Visions. Prisma Visions, very pretty box, right? Yeah. The color of this deck is one of the things that attracted me to it, actually. Prisma Visions came out a number of years ago. I think this is the 5th or sixth release that I got. It doesn't, 6th edition. Okay. So this is the 6th edition. It's got the silver foiled siding, which is nice. So that's, again, this is Prisma Visions. And the other deck I got is Cosma Visions, which is a new deck by the same artist. Also some shinies there happening. Woo! Okay, so when I ordered these decks, I always look at things pretty thoroughly and I try to check out other reviews, and I seem to, you know, jive pretty well with it. I actually thought I was going to like Prisma Visions. This is the back of Prisma Visions. Pretty cool. I like the aesthetic of both decks. Absolutely 100%. But there are just a couple things that bug me, and I'm a little disappointed. I'm actually thinking about potentially returning Cosma Visions. I'm sorry, Prisma Visions. The older one, the 6th edition of Prisma Visions. Simply because I'm not really vibing with it, and it's largely because of these 2 cards. In my world, I think the imagery should be reversed in my reality, because here we have the Fool and you see a pelican sitting up there, and then we have the Magician and we have kind of an actual like human magician type. He's got a person, you know, he's actually playing with reality. He's not just doing stage hand tricks or anything like that. But to me, this looks more like a fool trying to do what they cannot do and do not have the wisdom to be trying to do, versus the pelican, which, now I will point out, the book talks about there is a wolf here, and the fool is supposed to be the wolf going all the way out to try and catch the pelican at like high tide or something. But you can barely see the wolf. Like, it's kind of, you know, like if I hadn't said, hey, look, there's a wolf there, would you have noticed? Probably not. I'm guessing anyway. But I've spent a lot of time watching brown pelicans. I'm currently on the West Coast in California. I will be moving soon, unfortunately. And these birds are beautifully masterful of their environment. If you ever get a chance to watch pelicans fly over waves as they come, they literally are in just pure flow with the movement going around them, and it's just so beautiful to see. And that is real magic. Like, I would almost, like, besides me thinking that the pelican should be the magician and the magician should be the fool, which is basically, yeah, my main thoughts. I mean, I would even put a pelican as, you know, a cosmos card or a world card. However, interestingly enough, in the new deck that this artist did, the Cosma Visions, they do have a pelican for the Hierophant, which would traditionally be the Hierophant card. And a lot of ways the Prisma Vision, I'm sorry, the Cosma Vision, I'm so sorry, I have screwed it up now like 2 or 3 times. Please have patience with me. It's been a while since I've done a video. As the Hierophant, I love this. I am vibing so much better with the imagery in Cosma Visions than Prisma Visions, and I actually thought it was going to be the opposite based on the reviews I saw and the images of the cards that I saw. Also, this is the back of that deck. So, as you can see, these 2 decks are related, but Cosma Visions feels like the artists themselves did a lot of growing and maturing, and you can see it reflected in the artwork and the way the story is told throughout the deck of cards, which I think is really awesome. And yay, that's kind of my main feedback regarding both of them. However, I also want to talk about another piece of beef. This is the one card I really don't like in Cosma Visions, which is the deck that I do like and am vibing with. And it's this card, the 2 of Trees, because it features the rock stacking that a lot of new age type people like to do, which is actually really damaging to the environment. And if you didn't know that and you're watching this and you do that kind of stuff, please just stop. You can find information about it on the internet. You are screwing up local ecosystems by doing these things that don't need to be done. Stop. Appreciate the beauty of nature and all of its power and wonder for what it is. Stop using your human hands to mess with it in ways, because it has been scientifically proven that this practice right here is causing damage to the things that you probably love. So please think about that, and I wish that this image did not further glorify this stupid practice. Other than this card, I love this deck, the Cosma Visions Tarot. Or are they calling it, I'm sorry, they're calling this one an oracle because it is very different from your traditional tarot deck. Going through it as somebody who's read tarot for approximately 25 years now, on and off, and I've read professionally in various aspects, everything from the Psychic Power Network to being on the street to, you know, reading as a feature person at local bars and stuff. So I think this is a great level up. And while Prisma Visions has some really beautiful parts to it, like this High Priestess card is so awesome. The person walking through the shallow water and dropping pomegranate seeds, like, and that beautiful crescent moon. Like, some of it is so beautiful. So it's kind of, I really like this Chariot card. It's a cool modern take on Chariot. You know, there's a lot of things I like about this deck, but I've had it happen in the past too, where it'll be just like 1 or 2 cards that kind of completely ruins the vibe of the deck for me. I don't know. Has anybody else had that experience? I also tend to notice, and I'm not trying to be sexist in any way when I say this, but I have noticed, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's because I'm a queer feminist person, but the decks I seem to have issues vibing with are all artwork done by men. It could just be coincidence. It could just I don't know, maybe I'm just sensitive to certain things that I'm just like, I don't vibe with that. I'm not cool with that, you know, whatever it is. That has been my personal experience, and I have returned one other tarot deck, and it was done by a male artist who I think was not as experienced in tarot as they should have been when going forth and doing a deck. And while the artwork was pretty, it felt like almost like a shallow deck, because some of the meaning was just no longer there, if that makes sense. Anyway, beyond that, I would like to share some more of the beautiful Cosma Visions Oracle deck. I don't think I pointed out that this has, if you can see, you can kind of see in the light a little bit there. The edges on this one they're also gilded. I know gilded technically means gold, but they are, okay, holographic foil of like a deep blue, which kind of actually matches the Prisma Visions tarot. I don't know. You know, maybe I won't return Prisma Visions. Like, the descriptions in the book for the cards is fine. I really wish these images were reversed, like, or make the wolf actually stand out as the fool in the fool card, not the pelican, because the pelican is not the fool here, but it looks like the pelican is supposed to be the fool here. And yeah, I may be a bird nerd. I've got a Bork's parakeet on my head right now hanging out with me, who is Shimmery, who actually likes reading tarot with me and will sometimes help me pick cards and stuff, which is kind of fun. I guess Shimmery is my little bird familiar. So yeah, you know, maybe I've got my things that are different in my world that don't vibe with that deck. So I don't know. We'll see. Will I return Prisma Visions? Maybe. I mean, it was a high price deck, and if I'm not vibing with it fully, I should just return it. But we'll see. This has been the first video I've done for a while, and it's, I believe, the first tarot video I've done. But yes, again, I will say I have been reading tarot for about 25 years on and off, both professionally and just for myself. And these again are the two decks. They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful decks. Everybody's got their things that they like and don't like. So, you know, you don't have to take my word for it. Hey, what's up, LeVar Burton? Anyway, again, this is Prisma Visions and Cosma Visions by James R. Ead. So go ahead and check them out if you want. And those were the highlights that I brought forth, for me anyway. If you want to see more of the images of either of these decks, there are people that are doing, you know, the card by card draw to show each card that are already up there. So I'm not going to redo that. It's already there. This is just my personal review of both. And I hope that it is helpful to anyone that needs to hear maybe the critical aspects instead of people just gushing all the time, because that does sometimes happen a little bit. You know, we got to remember our artists and deck creators and writers, they're human too. You know, we all are imperfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect, however you like to say it, and that's okay. And you know, sometimes our expectations do not meet with reality, and that is also part of life. So going forward, I am going to at least work with Cosma Visions and give it a test run and do a little test draw with it and have Shimmery help me out with that. And I'm gonna hang on to this for a day or two and maybe go through it again and see how I feel. And like I said, maybe I will return it, maybe I won't. We'll find out. But there we go, folks. I hope you enjoy. Much love to you all. I know that everybody is still struggling out there. Cheers.